My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, today let us reflect on the theme called Saint Joseph the Just Man. Saint Joseph the Just Man. On December 8th, 1870, Pope Pius IX declared Saint Joseph as the patron saint of the Universal Church in order to commemorate its 150th anniversary. On December 8th, 2020, Pope Francis dedicated the year to Saint Joseph, the foster father of Jesus. Through his apostolic letter, Patris Corde, Pope Francis invites us to meditate on the life of Saint Joseph and to pray to him during these troubled times. At this juncture, Patris Corde, with a father's heart, the encyclical article number 1 rightly says, because of his role at the crossroads between the Old Testament and the New Testament, Saint Joseph has always been venerated as a father by so many Christian people. I repeat, Patris Corde, with a father's heart, article number 1 says, because of his role at the crossroads between the Old Testament and the New Testament, Saint Joseph has always been venerated as a foster father by so many Christian people. Especially in him, Jesus Christ saw the tender love of God. If we understand from the tradition of the church, we can draw some nuances regarding the life of Saint Joseph. We see from the tradition of the church, Pope Pius XII declared Saint Joseph as patron of workers. Pope Pius XII declared him as patron of workers. Joseph, a lowly carpenter, had been a hard worker. Saint Joseph, a lowly carpenter, had been a strenuous hard worker, laboring hard, working hard to take care of the family and to take care of the needs of the family. Being a carpenter, Joseph surely must have trained young Jesus in the art of carpentry, while also teaching him the values of the gospel, while also teaching him the values of life. Secondly, we see Saint Pope John Paul II. Saint Pope John Paul II declared him as the guardian of the Redeemer. Soon after the angel instructed Joseph in a dream, he protected the child Jesus from the evil plot of Herod. Yes, my dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, after he had received the dream, especially we see in the gospel records, the 4 times Saint Joseph got the visions, Saint Joseph got the dreams. After he has got the dream, and he immediately responded for the dream, and he took and he saved the child Jesus from the evil and conspiracy of the plot of the King Herod. Saint Joseph is also invoked as the patron of happy death. The church, our Holy Mother Church, encourages to prepare ourselves for the hour of our death. We see from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, article number 1014, there we clearly understand at the hour of our death, to ask the Mother of God to intercede for us at the hour of our death, and to entrust ourselves to Saint Joseph, the patron of a happy death. That's why, my dear faithful in Jesus Christ, you and I are supposed to do a PhD as we prepare ourselves for the preparation of death. What is that PhD? You might be surprised. We can attain PhD by our profession. We can attain PhD by our studies. But as a Catholic, you and I are supposed to obtain a PhD that is called preparation for happy death. P means preparation for, H means happy, D means death. Preparation for happy death. That's why, my dear faithful in Jesus Christ, Saint Joseph is called as patron of happy death. Then at last, church declared him as a just man. Our Holy Mother Church declared him as a righteous person. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 1, verse 19, there we clearly understand regarding the life of Saint Joseph, just one word, just man, righteous man. Because of his righteousness, because of his good works, he accepted Mary and protected her dignity, her good name, and, my dear faithful in Jesus Christ, and even her life. Yes, my dear faithful in Jesus Christ. Because of his righteousness, he willingly accepted Mother Mary and protected and saved her good name, her dignity, and her life. That's why we see Matthew's Gospel, chapter 1, verse 24 says, he accepted the angel's message and took Mary as his wife. He silently worked hard behind God's great plan of salvation. Yes, my dear faithful in Jesus Christ, there are so many people who silently worked hard behind the great plan of salvation. And we have one significant person, we have a just man, we have a righteous person who always, constantly and diligently worked hard behind the great plan of salvation. God's great plan of salvation. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, there are so many people during this COVID-19 pandemic working hard silently in the hospitals, working hard silently in so many different places. They are rendering great service to the people. Can you recognize? Yes, my dear faithful. There are so many doctors rendering their service. There are so many people. There are so many volunteers. There are so many policemen. There are so many authorities working hard silently for the saving of the people. That's why, let us remember, it is the nick of the moment for you and for many, for all of us, to introspect ourselves. We have called during this COVID-19 pandemic, you know very well, SMS, sanitizer, mask, social distance. In order to save ourselves, in order to protect ourselves, we use the code SMS, sanitizer, mask, and social distance. But in order to reach the grace of salvation, in order to reach the way of salvation, we need to obtain the shield of faith. As St. Paul writes letter to Ephesians chapter 6 verse 16 clearly, there we clearly see we need to obtain, we need to put on the shield of faith. When we put on the shield of faith like St. Joseph, we really accept the total obedience, we really accept God's will. That's why become just man like Saint Joseph to show the total obedience to God's will. Surely we will be with Christ one day in heaven. My dear faithful in Jesus Christ, yes, it is true. We need to become like just man. We need to become like Saint Joseph, just man, righteous person, in order to show the total and absolute assurance, the total and absolute obedience to God's will. When we obey God's will, surely God will bless us abundantly, and at the hour of our death and even after our death, surely we will all be with Christ one day in heaven. May God bless all of us. Amen.